Greetings, foolish mortals, and welcome to the tower. I am the VO Wizard, and today we're going to talk like Owen Wilson. Let's make some magic. Ka-chow! Alright, it's another page in the lessons chapter. You guys want to talk like Owen Wilson? That's fine. I totally know how to do that, and I'm totally willing to teach you. First thing you got to do, as I'm going to tell you every single lesson. Step 1, always acquire the character. Get interviews up, get pictures up, be looking at his face, and then be watching those interviews with a critical eye. Look at what he does, look at his mannerisms, look at his face, and watch what everything does. Another fun thing to do at the very beginning is just start playing with face swap. Put his face on your face, literally. Find the best picture you can. Higher quality, higher resolution usually does the best job of trying to immerse yourself in that character, and then just start saying things that you've heard him say. Just start trying to get into character, even if it's not great. Even amateur will put you in the mindset. It'll get you started. After you've got those pictures up, you've been watching the interviews, start building that character a little bit. Get his vibe. Start adopting some of those mannerisms that you've been watching so closely. If you're used to watching Owen Wilson in movies, you'll know that he's very, very affable. He's like the best friend character. He's like, hey man, how's it going? But he's also very unassuming. Whoa, 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 let's not fight here. What's going on?
Whoa, 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 hey, come on.
You usually won't see him picking fights, so you'll usually see him stopping fights. Get those characteristics and just absorb them. Build that character. The character of Owen Wilson, you're no longer yourself. I don't pick fights, I stop fights. Whoa, whoa, let's stop fighting. What's going on? That'll lead you to the voice if you're in that mode.
Stop. Don't do that.
Just relax for a second. Take it easy, okay? Relax.
Now, usually I'd lead us into a different step, but this time I'm going to switch the order around. We're going to start with the physicalities. If you've been paying attention to the interviews and you've been getting his pictures up, you'll know a lot of those physicalities right off the bat. Probably the most important one is the pursed lips. He's always got his lips pursed. Think of Zoolander. Put your lips out this way. Hey, how's it going? Not too far. You'll get it right. Just start playing with the extension like, whoa, that's too much. Oh, all right. Somewhere just kind of get it where it's comfortable, but they should be out. This physicality is the most important one because it pretty much informs most of the sounds that he makes. Hey, everybody, stop fighting. Very open. Hey, everybody, stop fighting. Very closed. You can see how the mouth tries to pucker inwards. It's almost like in most of the sounds that you're making, try to keep your mouth in just this little O-ring, a little wah ring. Even an A, it stays right there. Can you see? A, E, O. Make that sound. And try not to let it wander from that shape. Even if you're not to the mimicry step, recreating the voice just yet, keep that shape. Wow. O, U. Try not to let that move too much from that tight O shape. Along with the mellow and unassuming character that he is, he's also fairly incredulous, very in disbelief of a lot of things that go on. Using this knowledge, feel free to add that into the physicality. Squint a little bit. What? Why? Like I will say in every lesson, don't overdo this. Use it conversationally. Squint maybe a little bit more than you would, but always make it make sense. It's always in context. Whoa! What? Why? What? Wow! Who are you? What have you done with my dog?
Not like those Bible freaks that go up and down the beach like screaming at you. They really want to help.
Using that squint completely handshakes the disbelief in some of his mannerisms. But going overboard is definitely going to put you in Gilbert Gottfried territory.
I can't believe that you're Derek Zoolander.
Last one of the major physicalities is in that same disbelief with the squinting. Open your eyes. Raise those eyebrows up. He does that a lot. Whoa, 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 amigo, partner. Let's just take a step back. What are we doing here? Sometimes watching him, it seems like he lives in a constant state of amazement or disbelief. Be sure to just reflect that. Not all the time, but when you're doing something, really play it up.
Unbelievable.
Second thing to think about after the physicalities is pacing. Owen Wilson does have a very conversational sort of pace, but it is on the slower side. Robert Downey Jr.'s fairly quick, faster than the speed of thought. It also has a lot of pregnant pauses. Matthew McConaughey's right back here is low and slow. He's also got some of those pauses, that drawl. For lessons on Robert Downey Jr. and Matthew McConaughey, click the links in the description. Owen Wilson is way closer to McConaughey's pace, minus the pauses. Oh crap, I think this is the first voice that we don't have any weird pauses. To find Owen Wilson's true pace, go back to some of those interviews again, and then try speaking sentences in your voice with his pace. I don't know how we even got here. Whoa, 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 we're supposed to be in Texas. Hey, settle down. We're all friends here. If you listen to those last couple of examples, you can kind of hear his voice trying to creep in from the bottom, and that's what happens when you build the voice fundamentally like this, layer by layer. The voice will definitely come organically, by itself, by attrition, just by you watching the interviews, trying to mimic his pace, trying to mimic his features, and they start creeping in.
No, this is how I look now. I just look tired around the eyes.
No.
You all know what comes after pacing. It's the voice. After the pacing in your own voice, this is where you start trying to match his. This is where you kind of get high and breathy. Owen Wilson sits right up about here. Like I said before, Matthew McConaughey way down here, way back here. In the throat, down. Owen Wilson's usually up here, usually up top. Saying, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Even in his lower moments, it's still a bit high. Man, you're my dog. How are we doing today? How's it going? Just keep it high and kind of breathy. He's kind of breathy, kind of like this. He's not extra sharp. It's kind of breathy. It's a little wispy. Wow. The most important sound in this voice is the nasal. This one is definitely trickier to master, guys. This nasal is more of a soft nasal. It's not like that hard where you just chonk like this. You don't cut it off completely. It's a soft nasal. So you're still getting a lot of sound that comes out, but you're also trying to choke off a lot right at the nose, right behind that sinus right there. You'll feel it stop right there. Why I say this is tricky is just like before. When you choke it off like this, it's not going to sound so much like Owen Wilson. It's going to kind of sound like something else.
Pinching your nose is not the way to master this.
This nasal is a subtle nasal. You can definitely hear it, and it adds to the voice, and it pretty much comprises the voice. It makes up the entire thing. But to get it right, to make it sound like him, is going to take some practice. So when I'm talking about him like this, and I'm kind of talking in Owen Wilson voice, but I'm not especially nasal, I'm just talking in his pace, I'm talking in my voice still, up in his register, but you've got to kind of get this doesn't quite sound like him, right? Not until I add the O and the nasal. And that's the hard part. I know. It's going to suck, and it's going to take a little while. But seriously, when you nail it, when you master it, that subtle nasal is what makes the Owen Wilson voice. Coupled with that O and the nasal, that's what gets you there. Also, if you take the Robert Downey Jr. lesson, he also makes that kind of soft nasal right at the end on his there. Right there. How's it going? Yeah, go ahead and go to the Olive Garden before me. I'll meet you there. There. That nasal dictates most of the other sounds, like that O does, the dropping the jaw and getting that O. That nasal is what supplements that. That is the sound.
Come on, we're men, we're not piñatas.
God damn.
Apart from the nasal, there are a few other things to think about. Really get a hold of his vowels. Elongate the vowels. Not all of them, but you'll hear it. You'll hear when to elongate, especially that all-encompassing wow.
Wow.
Think about the wow when you're elongating your other vowels. It's not every vowel. See? Not every vowel, but some of them really do get elongated.
When this LA Times columnist was retiring and he said, walk up to 7-Eleven and play asteroids, but just to walk. And now it's like I do walks.
It would be difficult to try and teach every single instance that should happen, but it will come with practice. The more you get into that voice, you'll feel when to elongate. While elongating that, be sure to keep that O, that tight O ring right there, and drop the jaw. It really helps. Elongate, drop the jaw, stay nasal, baby. Be sure when you're making the sound for Owen Wilson, you're keeping it in the mouth. You're making the sound in the mouth, not in the throat. The throat's back here. Kind of sounds like Mr. Mackey, okay? Owen Wilson is Mr. Mackey, who's too far back here. Keep it up in the mouth. See? Matthew McConaughey, all throat, all right here, baby. You can feel it, just vibrating. Robert Downey Jr., mainly right here, under the tongue, right here, behind the teeth, and straight out. Owen Wilson's pretty much the same. You'll feel a little bit of reverb here, but most of it's right here. And it's coming out right there, underneath in that little pocket of the lip. The last sound, and this is kind of like a little bonus kicker. He doesn't do it all the time, but it's a really fun one to try and master. There's a little pop. There's a little puff of air that he does at the end of certain sounds. Could be a D, usually T, lots of times P. T's and P's are the biggest. B, but on those stop sounds, he'll aspirate a little bit, just a little p at the very end. Stop. Once again, don't overdo it. But when you can, when you're feeling it, not all the time, just add one in, especially on the end of a sentence to just punctuate it.
What? 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 What?
What? What?
It really adds to the voice. It puts a little bit of authenticity on there because he totally does it. The last thing I'm going to put in the lesson is the latch phrase. We started that last lesson and I really like it. The latch phrase is a little series of words that helps lead you into the voice, usually by making all of the sounds inside of it. If not that, it can be just a word, but as long as it puts you into character, it gets you into that voice mode right here, where that little word or that phrase just puts you straight into Owen Wilson, then it's effective. Most people might be tempted to go with wow for Owen Wilson, but that's a bit short for me.
Wow.
I like a latch phrase to do a lot of different sounds in one, just so that it kind of reminds me, it gets me all the way through, hitting all of those different things that we talked about. I'm pretty sure Owen Wilson's latch phrase for himself is crazier than a road lizard.
You are crazier than a road lizard. You're crazier than a road lizard. He's crazy as a road lizard.
As crazy as road lizard.
I never realized how often he said that. My go-to latch phrase for Owen Wilson is one I hear him say a lot, but I really like. It's got all the sounds inside of it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It's got his nasal on there. It elongates the aw and talking. It's got a lot of good vowel sounds, about. And it really does that T, that little bonus one on the end. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Immerse yourself in that character. Get that pacing down. Build the voice one step at a time with all those things we talked about. Get comfortable there and get yourself a really good latch phrase. You're talking like Owen Wilson in no time. Let's get out of this spell book, amigo. Let's go back to the tower. Thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. If you enjoyed your time here today, you're getting a lot out of these lessons, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel. It does a lot to keep these candles on. Scroll on down to the comments section, let me know how your Owen Wilson is shaping up after this lesson, and who you'd like to see me teach next. Keep an eye on this chapter of the spellbook for more impression lessons just like this one, and keep an eye on this page of the spellbook for just some random fun. And remember, if you want to see some cheap tricks, you can go watch anybody on YouTube. But if you want to know some real magic, you gotta come watch the wizard. Road lizards.
Come on, stop, please. It's embarrassing.